morning, it's afforddaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Bill Blackstock, the president and CEO of the RFCI, the Resilient Floor Covering Institute. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Kemp.
You had a meeting last week down in Sea Island. Your organization meets twice a year. This was your spring meeting. I'd like to talk about the highlights of that. First, though, Bill, you stepped into this role now. What's it been, 6 months or so? How long?
Good memory, Kemp. I came in September 1, and that was in a scale-up capacity. And on January 1, I became president and CEO. Dean became president emeritus.
Yeah. In your background, I know you spent a long time with Milliken and with J&J, right?
And engineer floors after the acquisition. Yep.
So let's talk about the highlights of this meeting. First, the growth of the category. We just did our annual report, and actually that goes online this afternoon. It's kind of difficult to tell exactly the consumption growth, but I can tell you that the shipment growth, because a lot of it has been shaken up by some of these supply chain issues, is around 30% for the resilient category. That's pretty strong.
You know, it's amazing. First of all, let me mention the meeting. Yes, we did have one of our two major member meetings last week in Sea Island. It was the highest attended meeting that we had in history. We added new members, as you reported as well. We were very excited about their addition. Early in one of my presentations down there, I had one slide that showed headwinds, and it was all the things you so aptly report on all the time. There's a whole list of them. And then I said tailwind. And on the tailwind side, you had the aspect of residential remaining strong from a flooring standpoint, particularly a resilient standpoint. And Kemp, you're seeing what I'm seeing on the commercial side. Commercial is gaining strength. The AIE index is back at a very, very high level. We had a speaker who talked about the growing strength in the commercial sector. And then resilient continues to have a very nice play there. You know, Kemp, you and I have talked about segmentation before. The great thing about the residential and the commercial side is when you get within the sub-segments themselves, the message of resilient products has a big play there. But, you know, we saw overall industry growth that was significant. And then we saw incredible growth in resilient once again, and that continues for almost 7 years now.
Matter of fact, we're anticipating that next year in 23, you probably will pass the carpet number as far as the wholesale value of what's sold in a year. So that's impressive. So I know the ITR group, the economists, the Beaulieu brothers, one of their representatives came and presented. What's their outlook?
Yeah, Connor Lokar of ITR was there. Dr. Kermit Baker with the American Institute of Architects was there as well. When we're talking just strictly from an economic standpoint, these presentations are not 8 slides, get really into the depth of, okay, what are all the overall factors affecting the economy? At the end of the day, we're very bullish on the growth of resilient looking forward in the next couple of years. When you talk to the economist on the overall economy, just based on the dynamics that we're seeing in your publication and everything lately, yeah, there are concerns out there about the overall economy. So what the organizations try to do, Connor tried to do, and Dr. Baker tried to do, is to say, you know, here's sort of what's out there in the future. We're not seeing whole-scale collapse or anything like that, but there are some headwinds out there from an economic standpoint. We're just keeping our eye on them. One of the reasons we have speakers like this who come in is to try to give our membership the latest understanding. And, you know, Kemp, you and I were together in Arizona in October. I could have never imagined a war, you know, of all the issues affecting, I could have never imagined a war being added to that in that time frame. So with the issues that are in play right now, they're very serious in nature. Yeah, you have to keep your fingers on the pulse of it.
Well, let's talk about a couple of things that I know you're focused on currently. And that one of them is an ongoing campaign, the Beautifully Responsible campaign. That continues to do well, right?
Yes, our statistics on that, which are very important. Our expectations, just quite frankly, Kemp, very simple terms, are just being exceeded in every way. The campaign is based on deep research of the residential consumer and values that are there, and then the aspects of our industry. We've exceeded every measurable that we have. So there was a lot of excitement about that while there.
I know another new focus for you is this Ecomedes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you saw the press release on that. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thankful to Jane Rohde, who's the technical consultant for RFCI. Basically, in a nutshell, Kemp, it's a wonderful initiative platform, very elegant in nature, that's provided for the A&D community. What it does is, in the complex world of understanding all things certification, sustainability, property-wise, it reaches out there, grabs that from the industry, and presents it to the A&D community and others, end users, et cetera. And I got to tell you, for those who haven't heard of Ecomedes, you're going to hear about it soon because of the enormous growth. It transcends RFCI in its reach.
Other than resilient flooring, what other categories are covered in that?
Over time, you'll see Ecomedes swell to include other products within flooring. It also includes other products outside of flooring as well. It's a holistic platform.
So one evening of the meeting last week was a tribute to Dean for his contribution to the organization. Is that right?
That's exactly right, Kemp. And it was to Dean and Shirley Thompson. Both were there, and we invited folks from RFCI's past who've been very special to that, and we had a whole host of speakers. I wish you could have seen it. The evening went very long, as it should have, because when you've been CEO of a great organization for 15 plus years, and you've taken that organization from a point A to a very special point B, folks want to celebrate that. So we did. We had a wonderful evening celebration for Dean and Shirley. They had family members there also to enjoy it. And I think for all who attended, it'll be one of those evenings that we'll all remember the rest of our lives. It was a fitting tribute to an incredible couple.
Okay, so tell us about the long-range outlook beyond 22, which we know is going to continue to be strong, especially with the strength of the commercial market. What do you see beyond that?
Our focus at RFCI is being very attentive to the specifics and all the innovations that are taking place right now to make sure organizationally that we're addressing that space beyond the scope of a single company in the space of resilience and looking at what's on the horizon and over the horizon. So therein lies the excitement of the job, the organization, et cetera. Kemp, to get a little more meat on that bone for you, RCI is already a very strategic organization. Dean Thompson's leadership on that has been nothing short of incredible. You'll see us continue to be a very deep strategic organization with very active committees that involve the best and brightest in our industry associated with resilience.
All right. Well, it's great to catch up and hear about what's going on with both the RFCI and your recent meeting. And congratulations on taking the full role of leadership here as the president and CEO. Again, been talking to Bill Blackstock, the president and CEO of the RFCI, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.